In the summer of 1914, a single gunshot in Sarajevo ignited a conflict so vast, so brutal, that it would redraw maps, topple empires, and scar humanity's collective psyche. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary by a Serbian nationalist was the spark, but the tinder had been piling up for decades. Rivalries, alliances, and unchecked ambitions among Europe's great powers. World War I, often called the Great War, was not just a conflict, but a seismic event that shattered the old world order and birthed a new, uncertain era. Its causes, course, and consequences reveal a story of human folly, courage, and resilience, offering lessons that resonate even today. The roots of World War I lay in a volatile mix of nationalism, imperialism, militarism, and a web of alliances that turned a regional dispute into a global catastrophe. By the early 20th century, Europe was a powder keg. Nations like Germany, Britain, and France competed fiercely for colonies and economic dominance, fueling mutual distrust. Germany's rapid industrialization and military buildup under Kaiser Wilhelm II unnerved Britain and France, who responded by strengthening their own forces. The alliance system, Germany and Austria-Hungary in the Central Powers, France, Russia, and Britain in the Triple Entente, created a domino effect. One nation's conflict could drag its allies into war. Meanwhile, nationalist fervor, especially in the Balkans, stoked tensions. When Gavrilo Princip, a Bosnian Serb, killed Franz Ferdinand on June 28, 1914, Austria-Hungary's ultimatum to Serbia triggered this fragile system, and by August, Europe was at war. The war's opening phase was marked by hubris and miscalculation. Germany's Schlieffen Plan aimed to swiftly defeat France through Belgium before turning to Russia, expecting a quick victory. But Belgium's resistance and Britain's entry into the war foiled this. By late 1914, the Western Front had stagnated into trench warfare, a brutal stalemate where soldiers endured mud, disease, and relentless artillery barrages. Trenches stretched from the North Sea to Switzerland, becoming symbols of the war's futility. Men lived and died in these muddy graves, facing machine guns, barbed wire, and poison gas, a new horror introduced by both sides. The Eastern Front, more fluid but no less deadly, saw Russia struggle against Germany and Austria-Hungary, with millions of soldiers and civilians caught in the chaos. The war's global scope expanded as empires drew in their colonies. From Africa to the Pacific, battles raged, and soldiers from India, Australia, and Canada fought far from home. The Middle East became a theater of conflict, with the Ottoman Empire's entry in 1914 leading to campaigns like Gallipoli, a disastrous Allied attempt to seize the Dardanelles. At sea, Germany's U-boat campaign targeted Allied shipping, culminating in the 1915 sinking of the Lusitania, which killed 1,198 people and swayed American public opinion. By 1917, the United States entered the war, tipping the balance as Germany's resources dwindled. The human cost was staggering. Over 16 million people died, including 9 million soldiers, and 21 million were wounded. Entire towns were obliterated, and economies collapsed under the strain. The war introduced new technologies, tanks, airplanes, and chemical weapons. But at a horrific price. Soldiers faced psychological trauma, then called shell shock, now recognized as PTSD. Civilians endured starvation, displacement, and, in the Ottoman Empire, the Armenian Genocide, where 1.5 million Armenians perished. The war ended on November 11, 1918, with the signing of the armistice, but its legacy was far-reaching. The Treaty of Versailles in 1919 imposed harsh reparations and territorial losses on Germany, sowing seeds of resentment that fueled World War II. Empires crumbled, Austria-Hungary, Ottoman, Russian, and German, giving rise to new nations like Poland and Czechoslovakia. The League of Nations, created to prevent future conflicts, proved weak. Socially, the war shifted gender roles as women entered the workforce in unprecedented numbers, and it radicalized politics, paving the way for communism and fascism. World War I was a crucible that reshaped the 20th century. Its blend of ambition, miscalculation, and technological horror serves as a stark reminder of the costs of unchecked power and division. Studying it demands we confront not just history, but our capacity to learn from it.